I do. Penny, my dog is in here with me. We'll see how she does. I might have to take a pause and lock her out after some point, but she's
Okay.
doing good so far.
Okay. I mean, if she's got something to say, something to add, we'll be glad to hear it.
It'll be loud if she does. I was just telling my friend, I've convinced myself that she's dying, so I've been like being extra
Chelsea.
sweet to her. I know. I know.
Oh my God. What? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Well, she has like a lump on her wrist, and we did take her to a vet who was like so dismissive of it. And then we like got home, and I was like, I feel like she's like lost weight, and like the lump's not gone away. And so our normal vet we found out has moved, so we're trying to find another one to take her to. So we can't
Yeah.
see a vet for a couple of weeks, and so I'm like, well, she's dying, so it
Oh,
doesn't matter anyway.
God, that is so
I know,
funny, but also
I
terrible
know.
because I hope she's not dying. I don't feel like she's
She
that would be just so sudden, right?
I know and that's why like I'm being so absurd about it, but that's what I've done in my mind. And so she wanted to be in here, and I was like, "What was
Are
that?
you usually a what do they call those people who like freak out over like a one lump, but usually it's on themselves? Like
Hypochondriac?"
yeah. But for other people, are you usually that kind of person?
So I, my mom's very much this way, and so we make fun of her. But I say that I went to medical school, despite the fact that I did not, because I diagnose people with stuff all the time, and
That's
myself.
yeah, that's great.
But the thing is that I'm often right.
Shock horror. Oh my God, who would have thought?
So, so now though, when I do things like this, I was like, well, I was right about that.
Oh no. Okay, well this will be the first time you're wrong, like the first time you were ever wrong about a TV show opinion regarding the Helly and Helena situation. So, there's a
Hmm.
first time for everything, and that's what makes life, I don't know, spicy.
Yeah.
But she's not we can't deal with there's already so much happening in
Yeah.
2025. We we
Gosh.
need
Ugh, not this early,
right. It's Penny,
too.
right?
Hmm.
Or is it Penny? Yeah, we need Penny to live. And she's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. There's no way that she's not going to be here longer to torment me on a daily basis. So
Um, this is going way beyond. But how old is she?
she's 7.
Okay, okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
going to stop eating those Skittles on here. Um, you're leading. So
Yes,
you just
I
let me know
am.
whenever you're ready to go, and then
Ready to go?
we can
Okay.
get to it.
Wow. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Are you watching this? Are you watching? Yeah. Are you watching this? No. You need to get with it. Are you watching this? We on a TV shit. Are you watching this? You don't wanna miss. Are you watching this? Stop canceling our shit.
Welcome to the Are You Watching This podcast, the podcast where we talk about TV shows you should be watching. My name is Ellen,
And I am Chelsea.
and we are going to jump right into it. What have you been watching this week, Chelsea?
Let's see. So I didn't really start anything new. I really spent most of my week trying to finish the first season of Servant of the People.
Okay, yes, I have that down for me. I want to talk
It
about it.
was, did you watch any? Oh, yeah, you watched at least the first episode, right?
I watched the first 5, but I really do enjoy it. I do.
So I wanted to finish the first season to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, the episodes are only like 25 minutes each,
Yeah,
but there's like 20 episodes,
yeah,
and you cannot passively watch it because you got to read the subtitles.
yeah. Hence why
So
I'm on
that
the 5th episode.
yeah, it took a lot of my time this week to get it done, but I did.
Yeah, does it hold up from start to finish on that first season?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you explain it on? I think you only explained it on the SRE episode. I don't. Did you explain it on last week's like topic episode, like Friday release episode? I don't think so.
I don't know, but I can explain it a little bit again. It's about, well, it was written and stars Zelensky before he was president. And the story is
The
for the
Ukraine
show is
president.
that, yes, that he is a history teacher. That's the character he plays, who becomes president because a YouTube video of him kind of going off on a tirade about this current state of the government goes viral, and so people elect him president. So the
Yeah.
first season is his first, couple of months being president and what that looks like and the changes he's trying to make, and it just reflects a lot about what's going on now.
Yeah, it's I loved it. I literally wrote down what I texted you after I finished watching the pilot, which was watch the pilot, love it. It's so good. I'm so surprised no one from the US has adapted it to a TV, like a US adaptation. And I won't be surprised if they finally do because
Yeah,
it's funny. It's smart. The shooting style kind of reminds me of Park and Rec, and it also has that smart, silly humor. And then the characters are, oh, I wrote innocent, but that's not the word I was trying to look for. They're like, can you help me with a word?
they're kind of, I want to say, tropey in a way. Like you got his mom, who's like a very traditional mom, and his dad, who's like a little goofy, but
Yes.
and a little too hard on his son. So they kind of fall in these very traditional roles, but
Yeah, like stereotypes.
but in a very supportive way, if that
In
makes
a very like,
sense.
yeah, like sincere. Like
Hmm.
they truly are their, like, whatever trope their character is, and their ignorance surrounding that, like what you'd expect that person to be ignorant to is what they are, but in a very innocent way, like
Yeah, and
harmless
you'll
way.
yeah, and you'll find too as the season goes on, like the characters make the typical mistakes that these characters usually would,
Yeah,
but they learn from those mistakes, which is kind of not necessarily the thing you always see in shows that have those trope characters.
yeah, yeah, and that's the smart part about it that I really like it just,
Hmm.
the character development is there. It
Hmm.
is, it's great. I'm genuinely surprised that the president of Ukraine came up with this TV show and stars in it, and that is, how do we not talk about it more? That's, I don't know.
Especially with how good the show is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not only is it like a fun fact if it was, shit, but it's something he created, but it's genuinely great. Like, again, I feel like if an American made it, we'd be talking about it a lot more.
Yes. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep, yep.
yeah.
What about you? Do you start anything new this week?
Um, I found a show that I need everyone to watch.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you sent this very cryptic tweet out.
Oh, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Well, okay. Well, there were two shows. The other one
Okay,
I'm not
okay,
going to talk about. We
okay.
might. I don't know. I'm trying to. I'll broach the subject with you after this one. But this one I watched. I downloaded it on before getting on the plane, and I watched it during my travels. It's on. It's a network TV show. It's NBC, but I got it from Peacock, and it's a weekly release, and it's called Grosse Point Garden Society. Have you seen it? Have you
Hmm.
heard of
Hmm.
it?
Yes, and I almost started it this week, but I didn't find the time somehow.
Yeah, get on it. It's great.
Okay.
It reminds me of Desperate Housewives. And then, oh, well, let me just do the little snipnosis for people. Four members of a suburban gardening club share a murderous secret in the affluent Detroit suburb of Grosse Point, Michigan. And when I was like writing down what to mention this week, I wrote, yeah, it reminds me of Desperate Housewives. And then I looked up who created it, just info on the show. It was created by Jenna Bans, who actually wrote on Desperate Housewives, so that tracks, and Grey's Anatomy and Scandal. And she created Good Girls, another NBC show. Do
I
you
love
remember
that
that
one.
one? Yeah, with Retta and May Whitman and Christina Hendricks. What else? Oh, and then the cast of this show is also very solid, like great working TV actors that are all familiar. There's Melissa Fulman off Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn
Hmm.
Nine-Nine.
Hmm.
Asia Naomi King from Scandal.
Hmm.
Then there is, I wrote these, and then his name's Ben Rappaport. poor. I'm sorry, Ben, but he's the lesser known. When I was looking up his TV, what's called discography or whatever they call it, I think his most notable role was on Ozark, but it wasn't a main role, but it was a couple of episodes.
Okay.
And he's the one guy out of the four friends. And then Anna Sophia Robb, who I love, and I was trying to think of where to tell the listeners she's from, and I'm just gonna say Carrie Diaries because that's what I loved her from.
She also was in last season of White Lotus, wasn't she? Or was that a
Anna
different
Sophia Robb, I
actress?
think that was a different
Yeah.
actress.
Let me see.
Yeah, that was a different
Or
actress.
okay. Oh, it was. Let's see what else. I think she. I'm gonna double check before I say this. Yeah, you're right. Wasn't she the girl from Bridge to Terabithia?
Yeah, that's another solid. Like Carrie Diaries and Bridge to Terabithia is. She made me bawl in that movie. First of all, I was
It's dramatic.
crying, so dramatic. But yeah, and she's very. I don't know. It's kind of these actors we saw play like young adults, and now they're full adults, like 30s, and in this TV world, and I really like it. It's juicy, it's justy, it's funny, it's great. People need to watch it so we get a second season because I will be pretty upset if there's not a second season.
It looks like it's like coming out weekly still, right?
Yes, and we're only
Okay.
3 episodes and I literally just watched the third episode yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it last week. I've seen it being promoted, and I definitely was like, "Ooh, I want to check this out." I will make sure I put it on my to-do list for this coming week.
Please try to. It is really good. And I don't know how, I feel like they aren't as lenient on cancellations with weekly shows. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like if it's like a full release of a season, they might look at the numbers longer to see if it's worth renewing. But with weekly shows or specific network TV shows, it's a harder, yeah, threshold or
Hmm.
whatever. But this
Yeah, I
one's really
think
good, and
so.
I think it's something missing on the TV landscape right now that we need back.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's good.
What about you? Anything that you want to mention that? I know you said nothing new, but
I this will go into the noms as well, but the Righteous Gemstones just started back up
yeah,
uh this past Sunday, the 9th. And I
yeah.
watched the first episode last night, and it is so good. So good.
Yay! Yay! I love that.
The Yeah, you'll see this online. It is a um kind of a one-off episode talking about the origin of the family, and so it's during the Civil War, and Bradley Cooper plays like the first gemstone.
Stop. Yeah. Ah, I love that. Okay. And yeah, okay. I need to
Well,
watch
I
the
was gonna
show
say
first of all, but yeah.
yes, it. So that's why, like, I saw people talk about it online, and I was like, "Ooh, is this gonna be?" I don't know that the way people are talking about it. I was like, "This could be so bad," like it could just be like not the right way to start off a season because
Yes.
we haven't. It's been like a year or two, and then so I was like, I don't know, but it is amazing. There are times in the show where the story lulls a little bit. It feels like it's kind of just for laughs. But then
Hmm.
they have these episodes where you're like, this is such good writing. This is such good acting. This is a type of TV show that you would never see anywhere else except
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Danny McBride in itself, you know what I mean? His weirdness is so peculiar that you know what you're getting when we were watching him in something or him being a part of something.
And I think that Righteous Gemstone very much falls in line with that. It, to me at least, is a little unique in that the um, writing and storytelling has a lot more depth to it. It feels like, at
Yeah.
least, than some of his other shows. His other shows are very funny. The characters are well written, but it is. I feel like they're written just to be funny, and this
Yeah.
one is written to be funny and to tell a story, to make comparisons to
It's
what's
like
currently going
satire,
on.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
more so than some of his other ones are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm very excited to check it out. And I'm also it's the final season, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. I kind of like that I'm not missing out on something, like,
You're going to hate that I'm going to say this, but
oh
I'm just going to throw it out
God.
there. If there are people, and I truly trust me on this, if there are people that have not watched the show, but they are curious about what the story is and the humor, you really could watch this one episode because it has nothing, it has nothing really to do with the rest of the seasons or the characters. It's
Yeah.
just an origin story. And so it could be like a good way to, if you figure,
Get
see
you
if you
into
really
it.
want to get into it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll allow that little, I don't know, help to the people if they want to get
Just
into it.
a
Just the one
suggestion.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Anything else
Um,
from you?
no, well, do I want to bring it up? I don't know. I watched
You
this
have to
TV show.
now.
It's just okay. So I found a TV show. I talked about it on my social media, and I was so excited because it had basically like a will they won't they with the two main leads, a man and a woman. It was hot and heavy, and they just like it was the perfect amount of will they and the perfect amount of won't they. Had me on my toes, had me watching. They are 4 seasons, but only like 3 or 4 episodes a season kind of situation. It's a British show.
Mm-hmm.
I binged it all, and then I finally looked up like who created it and all that, where it came from and all that. The reason why I didn't want to talk about it, and I'm so annoyed and ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. But you know what? This is good. Vulnerability is good. I feel like a lot of people try to like paint a perfect, I don't know, or try not to get it wrong so publicly. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And it's okay if it's whatever. Like, nothing is that serious. Calm down. But it is based off books. Wham! It's coming out my mouth. Books written by J.K. Rowling. Her when she was
Oh.
using the pseudonym of the man because everyone hates her, rightly so, right now. Well, not right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates her until she apologizes for being transphobic. And yeah, when I read that, I was like, oh no, why did I just support this hateful human? This sucks, but also the writing was so good. And I had a whole existential crisis of like separating the art from the artist, as we now have to do, or not even have to do. I think you should do it, but we now have the conversations of, because yeah, people don't want to separate the art from the artist, but I think it's necessary. Yeah.
100% necessary. I think it somewhat comes down to a personal level. There are certain people. The example that I'm going to throw out there, because this is what just pops in my head. I think is a good example, at least from my perspective,
Yeah.
is Louis C.K. He had a show Louis, and
Yes.
it was very funny. It was very well written. He's a funny guy. I love him in Parks and Rec, but the jokes on that show kind of reflected what he got in trouble for. And so I
Yes.
can't really watch that show now because I'm like, oh, so you weren't really joking that much with this writing.
No, yes. That's a great
But when
example.
it's something that's so far removed, that's so much easier to take a step back and just appreciate it for what it is.
Yes,
And
exactly.
the other people that worked really hard on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess just my only hiccup with when it is so far removed is that I'm still like lining their pockets, or helping line their pockets. You know what I mean? And that's the hard part of, yeah, of supporting bad people, but unintentionally so or intentionally so. But other people are involved who don't deserve. But also, they also know what they signed up for. It's not like it's a known source material. It wasn't just out of nowhere. So, but the
Yeah.
actors are great in it. I won't say the name of the show out of solidarity, but that's also what I watched, and Yeah. See, we can easily fall into traps, but it
Yeah.
matters what you do when you know. You know, do better when you know better kind of
Yes.
situation.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Anything else outside of that?
No, that's it. I had a lot of shame after that, so I decided to stop watching TV for a bit.
How to punish yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get into the for your considerations.
Yep,
Who do
yep.
you got?
I'm nominating Bradley Cooper for guest actor on a comedy for his role in the first episode. Yeah.
Wow, that good.
I think so. I mean, I don't know who else would be nominated for that category, so that's also kind of
Yeah,
why I threw it in there. But I think I was just so surprised by it. I really was not
yeah,
going to take it very seriously. I was just like, okay, whatever. But then I was like, damn, that's just it was good acting, good writing, which I know he didn't write it, but
yeah,
he really understood the character and portrayed it so well.
yeah. I love that. He is a great actor. I know a lot of people give him shit for, I guess, like taking his craft seriously or whatever. You know what I mean? Like being an actual
Yeah.
nerd and dork about it. But he is good. I will watch anything he's in. So
Yeah, that I think for me his best role probably was what is it? The A Star is Born,
I still
the
haven't seen
movie.
that.
It is. It's
Yeah,
good. It's really
yeah.
good.
I think it's one of those you got to be in the mood for, and I just have not, and then it can pass you by.
I didn't know that I needed to be in a mood for it, and I watched it, and then it was like one of those movies I watched in the middle of the day, and then the rest of my day I was like, okay, what do I do with myself now?
Yeah, yeah, I 100% understand what you mean. That is funny. Okay,
Who are you
so
nominating?
Bradley's got that. I am nominating. I'm going to backtrack because there was nothing new I watched that deserved it. And then I was like, what haven't I nominated? Like, what category? I haven't done a comedy. So I'm just going to nominate two that I think will be in these categories. We've got Adam Brody and Kristen Bell on their show. I didn't even look up what their show was. I just know I wanted to nominate them.
Nobody
It's
wants
their Netflix.
this.
Yes, nobody wants
Yeah.
this. I believe they'll both get nominated for their roles in the comedy categories, and I think it's
Did you
deserved.
see? Yes. Did you see that they're recording, filming the second season right now?
Yes, I did, and also that Leighton's gonna be in the second season, which I love. Yeah,
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 I love that too.
yeah. So yeah, those are the noms.
I agree with that.
Wait, I think. Okay, yeah. Oh, I did want to mention I posted it on our Instagram page, but they did announce the Emmys premiere date, which will be
Oh yeah,
September. Sorry, go ahead.
what? Oh, which? Yeah, I meant to add it to my calendar, so I'm gonna do it now. September, is it 25th or
14th,
no?
September
14th.
14th.
Yeah.
And then also, the nominations will be announced July 15th, which is actually a Tuesday. And we haven't revealed this, but we record these episodes on Tuesdays. So I thought it was pretty cool that they'll be announced that morning and then we go into record and we will have like real fresh kind of reactions to what have been nominated, who has
Eh,
and what has been nominated. Oh, sorry
Yeah.
about that,
Okay.
guys. If you can hear that in the background.
I added the nominations to my calendar and then the date of the Emmys. Yeah, that's perfect
Yes.
because on that Tuesday we can talk about them.
Yeah, we could also probably like maybe record right after they're announced, so it's like fresh or whatever. We can
Yeah.
decide then.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and then we did mention it before, but the what's it called? The window was June 1st of last year up to May 31st of this year. So, and everything that has been shown through that period is up for grabs, and I'm very excited to see. And we're getting so much more in the next 2 months of like TV. So I'm very excited to see what comes out of it. I think it'll be a very fun Emmys this year.
I think so too. And what I'll need to do is before the nominations come out, kind of revisit the stuff that we watched before we started the podcast, because I
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure to throw in. I know I mentioned the Penguin, but I'm sure there's other stuff that
Yeah.
deserved it too. That's not popping into my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same crisis, and then I was just like think I had to like break it down. Like, okay, comedy. What's the recent comedy?
Mm-hmm.
And then I landed on Nobody Wants This. Okay, that's it. Right? No many
Yeah.
nominations from your side. Okay.
Nope, that's the one.
Well, cool. All right. We are tackling the history of reality TV, which is what the third kind of genre of this genre TV saga that we've been taking you through, listeners. So I'm leading it. I've looked up a bunch of facts, and I'm gonna just start saying it all. But also, I want to shout out Jessica Roberts. I hope this wrote down correctly because I did cancel out of the window. She had a whole thesis. I don't know if you looked up any information, but
I did a quick search, so
okay. When I typed in history of reality TV, this thesis came up by Jessica Roberts called "Keeping It Real: A Historical Look at Reality TV," and I didn't need any other source. She did it all for us. So we got to give her a shout out from the top. Thank you. And I'm going to, now state everything that you said written and just say it. So, okay.
yeah. What was
Did you find
her?
it?
Yeah, her department. Oh, okay. So she was media. Because I'm trying to think,
Mm-hmm.
how did I not know you could write a thesis on TV? I wrote a thesis on insects. I don't like that doesn't seem fair.
I'm cracking up. Not you actually being jealous about what you could write a thesis on. You know what I mean?
I didn't even really get a
Yeah,
choice what I got to write my thesis on.
that's true. I feel
Okay.
like hers was what, media journalism or something? I don't know. I
Yeah,
read
I
it.
think so.
That was a lot. It was a good amount of information. Okay, let's start with the definition because I feel like when you start talking about something, a definition helps people from the top. So, definition of reality TV: it's a television program that documents unscripted, real life situations, often starring ordinary people rather than professional actors. There is non-scripted reality TV and scripted reality TV. And I was trying to find the best way to define both. But basically, for me, scripted TV, no, reality TV is what they said. It's producer heavy, it's pre planned situations, like certain meetups that cause drama. Um, but that can go either way, but we can talk about that later down in the line.
Okay.
Okay, so the first reality TV show was Candid Camera, which first aired in 1948. Did you ever
Oh,
hear about
dang.
Candid Camera?
Yeah, I did not know it started that early.
Yeah, pretty sure it went for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like the name of it kind of describes what it did. It was basically like a punked, right?
Yeah, hidden camera show.
Yeah, where just like yeah, hidden camera, unsuspected people going through weird situations and they didn't know they were being filmed. It's considered, it is considered a prototype of reality TV. And then in 1956, NBC premiered a show called Queen for a Day, which many critics say was a precursor to reality TV today. It began on radio in 1945 and then moved to TV in 1956. And then it actually aired for 12 years after that, which I think is a long time. It was a show that included contestants' prizes, audience participation, and judging, which are the common characteristics found in reality TV. Then in the 1960s, we had, you know, when Chelsea was doing the history of TV, one of them, I think networks, I can't remember, but 90% of the U.S. households own TV sets, so then programming continued to evolve and develop, and that's when reality TV also evolved and developed. Uh, Reality TV stemmed from other genres such as game shows and talk shows from the 90s and 70s. I mean, 1970s and 80s. They featured similar characteristics, which were hosts, contestants, and guests. I feel like when you think about talk shows, they have those similar things. And I think a lot of people might even fall into the trap of thinking a talk show is reality TV, but it's not. It is still very scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then modern reality TV can be traced to 1976 from a sports competition that aired on ABC called Battle of the Network Stars. This I thought was really cool. Did you ever hear of this? It's
Mm-mm.
before our time, but okay. It featured teams of celebrities from ABC, CBS, NBC. I want to say there were other ones. And they were like competing in physical challenges. So like celebrities or actors from those networks competing each other, and it aired every 6 months. And it
Okay.
reminded me, yeah, and it reminded me of Disney Channel games. Did you ever watch that or
Mm-mm.
even see it? Like when
No.
okay, it was the Disney Channel games was only 2 years, 2006 to 2008, and it was just like the battle of the network stars. So it was all the Hannah Montana, it was Miley, the Joe Bros, That's the Raven, and they just had challenges and they were competing against each other. And I think it was like blue team and red team, if I remember correctly. So yeah, when I saw that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so that wasn't like a new concept. It came from this first thing in 1976. Okay, so then from there we have the grandfather, as people would say, of reality TV, which is like modern reality TV, which is Chelsea's beloved Survivor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That launched summer of 2000. And for those of you who don't know what Survivor is, it's just a wilderness competition reality TV show that makes you, it's like mentally challenging and physically challenging.
Just.
And um, it had 50 million viewers watching the finale in that first season, which was second only to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So that, yeah, it made a huge, huge splash. And even though reality TV was around for years before this, um, people say that Survivor birthed a period of fast development and growth for other networks to create their own reality TV shows because they saw the numbers and obviously money talks. So then, oh, fun fact about Survivor though. The creator, I should have written his name down.
I'll look it up really
He
quick.
pitched it.
Oh, it's Mark something. Because I've stared at it so many times.
Yeah, it should have been on the top of your head, Chelsea.
I know. Hold on. Hold on. Well, it says it's created by Mark Parsons. Or, sorry, Charlie Parsons. But
Okay.
I
I
don't
feel
know
like I
if
read a
that's.
Mark too, but I don't, who knows. Anyways, first of
Oh,
all, it was, oh, go ahead.
it's Mark Burnett, and he's one of the
That
executive
one.
producers. Yeah.
Okay, okay. It is based off of a British version, and that show was called Expedition Robinson. Did you know this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And then they were pitching it. He pitched it to CBS. They rejected it at first, and then he pitched it to all the other networks: ABC, NBC, Fox, USA, even, and the Discovery Channel. They all rejected it. And then he pitched it again to CBS, and the executive at CBS at the time was just like, okay, let's take a chance on it. And it generated, yeah, sorry, 50 million viewers, and then also got like a lot of money from the ads, and that's why. From there, we had then the next year, yeah. From there, we had Big Brother. CBS kind of just took the role of creating amazing reality TV shows after this. I didn't realize that, but yeah, they had big name. They had The Amazing Race,
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother. Oh, I feel like there was one more.
Survivor, which obviously
Survivor. Yeah, maybe we'll come back to it. Did you watch? First of all, did you watch Survivor in real time, or when did you come to it? Do you remember?
I 100% watched definitely the first season, if not like the first three
Wow.
seasons,
Yeah.
if not more. But I definitely remember watching those seasons as they came on, as they aired, watching that finale. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of it.
Was it as, I don't know, cool and intense and new in the TV landscape as, it basically was back then?
Yes, yes. And I think too, if somebody, so I again said that I watched it when it first came out. Drake did not watch it when it first came out, and I wanted to get him into it. And so, but then you cannot just approach it at the new seasons now, though, because the
Mm-mm.
game has been around for so long. The game has changed. They've had to evolve the game. And so, to me personally, what is the most fascinating about Survivor is watching old episodes and then new episodes to see how much the game has shifted and
Yeah.
changed.
Has the game, and I'm now asking you as like the Survivor expert, so sorry, but has the game changed because of technology or because it's just been around for so long that they can't, like, if you watch it, you know what to look out for, so they've just had to like come out with brand new ideas?
It's because it's been around for so long that people now that are going on Survivor have watched it growing up, and so they have to
Yeah.
change the gameplay. So it very much more is more of a mental game now, kind of
Yeah.
like Traders, less physical, less about surviving. I mean that's definitely making it harder on them, but
Yeah.
the game is now more around gameplay and alliances and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I did not know the tagline, or like a tagline for Survivor, is outwit, outlast, outplay. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Why do people not say that more?
Well, it's Drake and I will say stuff to each other all the time. Jeff Probst is like one of the best hosts. He really secured his future with that job. And if the dogs come up to us, or like if Drake wants something from me, I'll say, got nothing for you, which is what Jeff will say to the tribe that loses challenges.
That's funny. Okay.
and and then we like buffs the things that they wear with the
Mhm.
tribe colors and stuff on it.
Yes.
Those like that company is only still around because of Survivor.
Yeah. Aren't they like bandanas though?
Yeah, they're like athletic. I mean, Drake has several of them, so you can like wrap
Yeah.
them around your hair when you exercise to help with the sweat or stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, use them
Okay.
as scarves.
Yeah. That's very funny and cool. Okay, where were we? Got lost in the Survivor of it all.
Just talking about CBS kind of having the
CBS.
footholds originally.
Yes. So then in 2002, Fox launched American Idol, and then it became the highest rated TV show in the US that year. And then March of 2002, ABC launched The Bachelor, and then hold on, let me just do this with networks. So then Fox had American Idol, then ABC came into the game with The Bachelor, and then later in 2004, Extreme Makeover Home Edition, or Extreme Makeover and then Extreme Makeover Home Edition, which was, I think, was the more popular one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching the Home Edition more.
Mm-hmm.
And then NBC in 2004 launched The Apprentice and The Biggest Loser.
Which The Apprentice had the biggest loser on it. So
Solid burn. And so in the 2000s, during this decade, we basically witnessed reality TV grow more. It grew because the networks saw that it generated a lot of money and basically required none, which is the name of the game when it comes to capitalism. So, hold on. Oh, in the 1980s. Sorry, I'm going back, you guys. I should have whatever. But in the 1980s, okay, I don't. Let's start here. Did you ever hear about the? It was in the 2000s, the writer's strike, and that kind of like birthed more reality TV
Mm-hmm.
because obviously it's not scripted, so it allows for the networks to be like, okay, how do we loophole this?
Mm-hmm.
So the first, not the first, but the in the 1980s there was a writer's strike. In the late 1980s there was a writer's strike, and also there were budget cuts, and this pushed networks to find like low budget unscripted TV shows. And Fox then came up with Cops and America's Most Wanted.
Mm.
And then in Star Search, I think that was also
Mm-hmm.
Fox. That was in 1983, and I never watched Star Search, but I want to say, I guess I could Google it real quick. I was gonna say a really crazy thing.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
okay.
like
So,
Brit. No, yeah, you go. You
I
go.
was gonna say Star Search was actually pretty mega or epic because Destiny's Child at the time, but they were known as Girls Time. They appeared on it, and that was my fun fact. Do you know anyone else who appeared on it?
I think Britney Spears was on it. Maybe Christina Aguilera. Like there are a handful of like '90s pop stars that were on it. Usually when they were like little.
Yeah. Well, okay. So at the time, were they considered Disney kids? Because even Ryan Gosling was that the Disney crew
Mm-hmm.
back
Yeah,
then?
it was Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, and Britney Spears.
Yeah, which very very cool. And Star Search was a like talent competition, like America's Got Talent or whatever country insert here's got talent now, or even like X Factor, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, I only wrote Factor down. I didn't watch it, but only because the UK version. That's how we got One Direction. So I feel like it's such a important cultural show.
It is truly not. Yeah, it is. I never watched it either though.
Are you a
Um,
Were you a One Direction fan?
I I liked them. I did. I did. I did, but did I like ride heavy for them? No. But I liked them, yeah. Were you?
I say that as somebody who's literally never listened to their music before.
Wait, so that was more of like a shunning that no wait, was more were you trying to shame me or shun me? I don't know.
I was just trying to be funny, but I actually was a little surprised because I felt like because you're just a couple more years younger than me, so it felt like that
Yeah.
would have maybe been like the right age to
Yeah,
be a
it
fan.
was.
So
Maybe just a little bit below though. I will be
okay,
honest. Yeah. That's
I
probably why I was
do
like so crazy.
currently love Harry Styles. So
That's something.
yeah.
And he's lovable. He was actually my favorite one out of all of them.
Hmm.
Was he? Was that a lie? I feel like that was a lie. I liked Louis. I don't know how we got here. Let's get out of here. Um, then, so okay, we're jumping back to the 2000s. That's when everyone was rolling in reality TV, and there were four subcategories. Sorry, my hair time. Four subcategories. There was challenge, and the main characteristics of challenge is just a competition, survival of the fittest, or mental. Second subcategory is talent. Main characteristic is an audience vote. Third subcategory is makeover. This one confused me, but it said main characteristics was improvement, corrective measures, life and or home transformation, and thriving in different environments. Which when I honestly when I finished writing that, I was like, so like pimp my ride, would that count?
I'm Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah. Okay. And oh, so after I'm naming this, we're gonna go back and then we're each gonna name like two that would fit the subcategories.
Okay.
And then the fourth one is celebrity, and the main characteristic of that is notoriety and lavish lifestyles. Okay,
Okay.
so taking it back to subcategory one, challenge. Can you
Hmm.
think of two reality
So
TV?
there's one that we haven't talked about. That's I'm kind of gonna try and name ones that we haven't already
Yeah,
mentioned. Called Alone. Have you watched that one?
Alone.
Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, she left. Yeah, Alone.
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's on. I think it airs on the History Channel maybe, but it's on Netflix,
Okay.
and it is they take a group of people and they put them out in the middle of nowhere by themselves, and they are only provided five survival supplies that they of their choosing, and
Hmm.
then they stay out there until they come and get them, or until they tap
What?
out. And so sometimes they're out there for like a month living
Oh
under a
my,
tree.
oh my gosh! And it's summer, like hot. Is what I'm guessing.
No, it is winter. It is
What?
freezing cold.
Would that be
Yes.
worse? Would that be worse? Would that be worse? Is there shade? Yes, you said
Well,
trees.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Because
yeah,
it's
summer
like
would be
up in
better.
Alaska,
Okay, so summer would be
or
better.
at least the U.S. one. There's an Australian version that I haven't watched.
Oh, also on Netflix? You don't
That I don't know,
know? Okay.
but
Alone.
it's
I
really
need
good.
to check it
And
out.
Drake and I will watch it, and you're sitting on the couch, just like chips, like hoarding chips in your mouth, and you're like, "That was so dumb. Why would they build a boat before they even have food?" As if like I could even survive a situation like that at all.
Yeah, that's me too. I, could you ever go on a Survivor alone? Could you ever go on a competition like challenge reality TV show?
I don't. I don't think so.
Yeah,
Or I think that physically, do I think that I could do it? Yes. Would I do it? No.
yeah. Do you have the
I don't
desire to
want
do
to
it?
do that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I
Cool.
don't I don't how are they going to give me my medicine? Like what if I start my period? Like what I need my melatonin to sleep. I need my eye mask. Like
I'm with you. I agree with you. So you have no desire to outwit, outlast, outplay.
no, but I want Drake to do it, so
What? Ooh,
he would
what's the one? The Amazing Race with the partner.
mhm.
Is that the one you come into with a partner, or they pick one? You
Uh-huh.
choose to do it together, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he was like, okay, Chelsea, I'll do it, but I'd only do the Amazing Race. Would you do it with him?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I don't approve of the current iteration of Amazing Race. It's too easy. They've like you used to have to go to the ticket
Ah!
counter and buy your own tickets, and now they already like have the ticket, so like you'll go on this flight, you just have to make it to the airport by a certain time. I'm like, that's the whole challenge is having to buy the ticket. The airports don't even open. Like too
Yeah,
easy. Too easy.
that's funny. Okay, well, if you ever go on the Survivor, we will see if it is too easy.
No, Survivor, absolutely not.
I
Amazing
mean,
Race.
sorry, the Amazing Race. Yeah, yeah.
What about you? Are there any game ones that you thought of, or like ones that you'd want to be on?
Um, no, I was also trying to think of like one we no one really talks about, and most recent. I didn't write it down correctly. The Ninja Warriors, that one.
Hmm.
You know, I was like, that's pretty, but I would never do it. I don't like the challenge one is not for me in terms of
What
reality
about?
TV.
I've only watched half of one season, The Circle on Netflix.
Okay, the circle. Let's see. I'm trying to go over these characteristics. I guess that is a challenge one. I did watch like the first two seasons of the circle and I loved it. I was like, oh, I would kill at this game. I would kill at this game.
Yeah, I think you would be so good at that game.
Thanks. That makes me so happy.
Absolutely.
Holy shit. Maybe I'll sign up after this. But it's gotten overboard too now. I don't know. I stopped watching it ages ago and I think they're like on the eighth season. I don't know. But Yeah, I could do the circle. I could. I just have a fear of like crying because I'm like overwhelmed and I just don't want the world to see me cry.
That is like your a general fear that you have, or you have that fear that you're going to do that on TV?
I have that fear of like doing that on reality TV. Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that. Yeah, I can see myself doing that easily. Okay, so second subcategory talent, which the main characteristic is audience vote. Do you have something that could fit under that category? There's a lot on this one.
Is is by audience vote though, do you mean like because American Idol, right?
Hmm.
People text or called in,
Hmm.
but America's Next Top Model was picked by elimination.
I feel like that would be challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's from what good old Jessica, I believe her name is, wrote. That was what this. Yeah, because that's more. It's a competition, and there's like a prize at the end. But you're not really trying to like outwit or like mentally, physically challenge players. American Next Top Model is a good one. I don't know.
I had it at under talent.
Okay, it could also be Makeover, but maybe not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would probably say it was Makeover. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say
Then
that.
no, I don't have another one that falls under that category. Not written down at least.
Okay. Talent. So I wrote Love Island. If
Okay, yeah. Because they do have where people vote.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and yeah, if that's the main characteristic, then I think that's it. But they also had Dancing with the Stars, X Factor, America's Got Talent, just the usual ones on
Okay.
there. So then we have Makeover, which main characteristics is improvement, corrective measures, life and or home transformation, and thriving in different environments. Do you have something under there?
I have two. I
Okay.
mentioned the first one that doesn't need too much discussion, but then there's the other one. The first one is This Old House, which started in 1979.
Okay.
Have you ever watched This Old House?
No, never,
Do you know
ever.
what it
Don't.
is though?
No, never heard of it.
Bob Vila. I don't know, like they go around and they fix up old houses and they show you like this is how you replace a window. This is how you
Mm-hmm.
put down new hardwood floors. It's on
Yeah.
PBS. It is extremely boring. I've watched so much of it. And that's probably part of why I think that I can do certain home projects.
This is making so much sense. Context
Yeah.
behind Chelsea's lore. This is incredible. Okay.
I've just, they make it look so easy.
Of course.
And so I don't know, I see him do it and I'm like, oh, I could 100% do that.
But that's like the
And that's,
magic of TV, you know? Like
I,
it just looks easier.
well, and that's the magic of me because I try it.
That is true. Okay. And then what's your second one?
Oh, the other one was The Swan. I think that was on Fox. Do you remember that one?
Oh, that does sound familiar.
It was kind of
Um,
like Extreme Makeover, not the House edition, but like the first iteration of it.
mhm.
And it was like it. Let's see, it came out in 2004, and it's everything that 2004 was about. It was about plastic surgery. It was about I guess plastic surgery really is the main thing, but they were taking these people and doing such dramatic changes to them and saying that they weren't beautiful until they did it. And it was just
Oh my
like so
God.
I know it was
That's
pretty controversial when it came out.
yeah. What'd you say? Early 2000s? Was that?
2004.
Okay. Okay. So that's when that was like I feel like the peak of reality TV when I was
Well,
doing the research.
peak reality TV and peak body dysmorphia beginnings for
Yeah.
probably 90% of America now.
Yeah. That is very true.
That and Tyra
Um
Banks the year before that yelling at beautiful women. that they weren't pretty enough.
That was nuts. And we were all watching it like, yeah, she's and judging along. That's crazy. This is why we're all
I
crazy. Oh
know.
my gosh.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh. Okay,
What about you?
speaking of makeover, okay, so I'm gonna say what they had written down or what she had written down. The Bachelor, which if we were going to subcategorize it, it's not a challenge, it's not a talent, and it's not a celebrity. So I guess it's a makeover, but I don't know. I think that's just forcing it into a subcat, you know?
I would say, if anything, it's a challenge because you have a
Mm,
winner at the end, the last lady
that's true.
standing.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
But I could see the makeover side of it, but that's not where my mind would jump to.
No, I think there's just a character growth with like a bachelor or bachelorette,
Yeah.
sure, but I don't think it's like a makeover. Um, but they had, oh, she also had Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and I did want to mention that. I was weirdly so into it. Move that bus! So into it. I loved it. I don't know why.
I so what the carpenter Ty, whatever his name was,
Yeah.
he was the carpenter from Trading Spaces, which I told you about that. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Good old Ty. I
and
liked him.
yes, you'll see too these like horror stories though, because they built these huge houses for these
Yeah.
families and they like can't pay the electricity bill or
Maintain.
the property
Yeah.
taxes anymore because it's worth more. I'm like, did nobody think about this
I
beforehand?
know. Yeah. Like, how about we make something sustainable but like new inside, you
Yeah.
know?
Like,
Yeah.
they don't need a space themed bedroom. They just needed a ramp to the front door.
Yeah. Is it still on? I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I think that it was on longer than it should have been. I'm gonna look it up.
I think I agree with you.
Extreme. Like, I think it was on, oh man, I might actually still be on
Like
TV. Let's see.
2010s.
Started
Definitely
in
thinking about it.
2004. It premiered on January 2nd, 2025 for its 10th season on ABC.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I like weirdly want to watch just one episode to see how insane the makeovers are now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
Because
Hopefully they're making better decisions.
hopefully, because it could, if it was like still the same kind of decisions, it could be looking really, really crazy.
No.
And then another one I did want to mention was Queer Eye for the Straight Guy,
Mm-hmm.
which I did watch, but I didn't watch the newer version on Netflix that
Mm-mm.
they released now.
I watched the Bravo version, and
Yeah,
what year did that come out? It was
that was 204 as well. Oh no, that was later. I lied. Let's see. I
it was
have to
around
look.
then though. It was
I think it
that
was
same
2004.
2000-ish era. But
It was
what's funny
2004.
is, okay,
Yeah.
the funny thing about that show, or in hindsight, I think, is my family and I sat down every Friday or whatever, whenever it came on, and we
Yeah.
watched it and had a wholesome, fun time. But, I'm probably going to say that my parents don't support gay marriage, but they
Yeah.
love the TV show. And I'm just like, I feel like that's how a lot of the population worked and
100%.
still does, unfortunately. But
Yeah. I mean, it was technically such a progressive TV show, and I'm surprised it did so well and continued to do so well,
it
especially
did
back
so
then.
well. Yeah, it did so well, but also didn't seem to change anybody's
Yeah, like
especially adults.
mentality.
Now, I think it made me as a kid, because I was watching it and I was being
Yeah.
exposed to a different lifestyle that I had not seen or, see on a regular basis.
Yes,
It probably
agreed.
made me more um, respective, more understanding of that, even at a very young age. So, like, when I grew up,
Yeah.
I didn't question it. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that just makes sense. What are we even talking about?
Right. Because you saw, I guess, like you saw them on TV. Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. It also won an Emmy that year it premiered, so in its
I think that's right.
category.
I think that's well deserved.
I agree. I really agree. Like, yeah, I agree. I did want to quickly mention because you mentioned the Swan, and if we're talking about weird reality TV shows, I was doing the research and I came across one. And I wanted to talk about it. It was called "Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire" on Fox. Did
Mm-hmm.
you ever watch it?
Yep.
It was premiered in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, but reading it, I'm like, oh, I would have loved this. And also, it would have been batshit crazy if it continued. It only had that one season. It was 50
Mm-hmm.
women competing for this random multi-millionaire. His name was Rick Rockwell. A nurse won, and she received 100K and got engaged. But then they got married, but then after the wedding, allegations from one of his exes came out that he lied about a part of his life, and she had a restraining order against him. And basically, because of the controversy surrounding him in that first season, Fox canceled it. And
Okay.
yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate, but I understand. Well, I definitely understand him being like abusive. Like, we're not gonna whatever that, but I just feel like it could have been great mess ever, like in terms of reality TV.
Well, that reminded me of the show. Oh, this came out after in 2003. Man, they had another one called Joe Millionaire. Did you ever watch that?
Yes, yeah. Well, no,
Which
but I
that,
read about it on the thingy.
yeah, which so the whole premise with that is these women are on this dating show to marry a millionaire, but come to find out he's not actually a millionaire. And I think that's just mean. I'm sorry. I'm
I agree
sorry.
with you. I agree with you. If you were on that show thinking you signed up for one thing and it turned out to be another, but you did fully fall in love with this man, what would you do?
I mean, I don't. If you've genuinely fell in love with them, then I think that I would be like that. It doesn't matter because I would be there for love. But if I'm marrying for money, then yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
some people marry for money, and if I ever get married again, that's why I'll be marrying. So I just
You just happen to get lucky the first time and find love, but second time, definitely
second
purposely for money. Honestly, the older
second
I'm
time.
getting, the more I'm like, I might as well just do it for money this time. Well, not even like the first time, but
Mhm.
that's a conversation for another time. I never thought I'd be that person. Okay.
I'm not going to judge it. I support it.
I don't think this economy, please, somebody help me. Okay, so also yes, in 2000, Trading Spaces TLC. Did you know it was a British adaptation of a show called Changing Rooms?
I knew that there was a British version. I did not know it was an adaptation.
Yeah, it was. And then, so basically, a lot of reality TV that premiered in 2004 came from British or like TV shows from there, and then they
Hmm.
adapted it to here. Which that's oh yes, it's funny not being an American and knowing the history of America and how the which war was it? The Civil War, not the Civil War.
World War Two,
No,
World War One,
no
Revolutionary War.
the revolution. Yes, that one.
Okay.
America like really tried to sever itself from Britain,
Hmm.
and they still look to it for a lot of inspiration, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, then. Well, I guess no. 2003 gave us America's Next Top Model and Queer Eye. So Queer Eye came 2003, apparently.
Okay.
Either Jessica's lying or Google's lying, and I believe Jessica. So,
I believe her too.
uh, what else do we have? Oh, okay. So the Emmys introduced reality TV in 2003 as a category in 2003, and I guess we've just been talking about network TV, reality TV shows. Obviously, cable TV had a good number. The first one being The Real World. And
MTV.
that, yeah, on MTV. And that premiered, oh gosh,
I,
1999?
I have it as 1992, but I
No, you're
could
right.
also.
It is 1992. You're absolutely right. Yes. And it was, what's it called? It created by a documentary filmmaker, John Murray, and his production partner, Mary Ellis. And they created it because MTV actually wanted a scripted, like, young adult soap opera TV, kind of like 90210-esque. But MTV realized that the production cost was going to be too high. So then John and Mary Ellis suggested an unscripted format, and they were for it. So then The Real World happened, and it kind of pioneered other shows like Big Brother and other non-scripted but semi-scripted TV shows. And by semi-scripted, and this is what I wanted to talk about. When you think about scripted reality TV shows, what do you think of? Or what's your definition?
I would say shows like Jersey Shore, uh, Teen Mom, even, especially now, maybe not so in the beginning. Um, and then, oh, the Kardashians, Keeping Up with the
Yeah.
Kardashians.
Yeah.
Those where, yes, in theory, they're following them around, but either they're recreating scenarios that already happened or they're setting people up like, hey, you're going to go have lunch with Courtney, and they know that
Yeah.
it's going to cause a fight.
Yes. Or a conversation has to be had or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so then that would take me to, sorry, I forgot the fourth category, celebrity, which the main
Mm-hmm.
characteristic is notoriety and lavish lifestyles. And Jessica credits the Osbournes as
Mm-hmm.
pioneers of this category. Did you ever
Yep.
watch the show? Ozzy.
Yes, a little bit. Not really when it was on because I was only 12 when it was on and I wasn't really allowed to watch a lot of MTV at that time. So
I mean, that's smart parents. They cared for
I,
you. That's great.
I watched a lot of other inappropriate stuff, but they just drew
That's
the line
true.
there.
That's true. Um, can you name other celebrity reality TV shows that you might have watched or no?
Yeah, the two that I'll mention are the Girls Next Door. Did you ever watch
Mm-hmm.
that? The
No.
About the Playboy bunnies
Oh yes, yes. That's what
with
it was called. Kendra
Kendra and
Wilson,
yeah, the Girls
Wilkinson,
Next
something
that
like that.
show was I kind of want to rewatch it because it is one of those that actually reveals a lot more than you think it reveals and
Yeah,
really shines light on a lot of stuff outside of what on the surface level. But I think it would make
yeah.
me really sad.
I agree. I agree. Especially watching it now, I think we don't
Hmm.
have those blinders that we had before.
There
Um,
was another
Go
one
ahead.
too called Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D List. I think it
Yes,
was on Bravo.
it
Did
was
you
on
watch that?
Bravo. Yeah, I watched a couple of episodes. Yeah, Kathy
It
fascinated
was
me.
very
I don't know
funny.
why. It was. Maybe that's why. Her humor. Yeah, she was funny. Her humor. Do I want to say she's funny? Yeah, she tried to be funny. She was funny. I'll give it to her.
Her humor's definitely different than like my humor, but
Yes.
she's very witty, she's very smart, and the show really was more about like her and her mom's relationship, and that was really what the show was about, and I really enjoyed
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah, I did too.
I
Um,
love a celebrity reality show.
you do.
Hmm.
I feel like I used to, but I don't anymore. Or I can't even think of one that I. Are there? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't watch any. Do I watch any? I don't think I watch any.
Okay, used to is a better way to phrase it. I think now with like
Okay.
Instagram and stuff, we don't really need it because we can just get
See their
online
lives.
and see
Yeah.
what they've already given us, which often is more than they should have. So,
Agreed. Yeah, that's the reality TV show now. It's literally Instagram, which is
hmm
crazy. Um, I watched, speaking of family or yeah, celebrity TV shows, I watched it was in 2000. When did it air? We're still living in Australia, so I want to say like 2006, 7, 8, maybe there. Snoop Dogg had one, and again, separating the art from the artist. Back then, he was not a Trump supporter, but
oh man, why did you
yeah,
remind me of that? I forgot.
yeah, yeah. I know it's everyone sucks. Everyone sucks right now, and it really sucks. But it was based off. It was Snoop Dogg. What was it called? Snoop Dogg's fatherhood. Corey and Wayne's story. It was so great. It was him, his wife, his daughter, and sons. I had the biggest crush on his son. He was so good looking. I was like, how do I get to America and meet this man? But
Is that
now
why you moved here?
I mean, high key, low key, yeah. But I also looked him up on Instagram doing research on this, and he has not. We're good. I didn't miss out on much, so that's great.
Well,
I
that's
know.
good.
That was one I really liked, and I also watched Simple Rules. Did you ever watch
hmm
that? Yeah,
Simple Rules. The
or
I watched
Simple
Simple Life. Okay, yeah,
Simple Eye.
yeah,
It's like
with
a mixing.
Paris Hilton and
Yeah.
Nicole
What
Richie.
was the Jessica Simpson one? That
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
actually
I think it was just the Jessica
with
Simpson and Nick
Nick.
Lachey newlyweds.
Yeah, I think that was it. Okay. So those are the subcategories, subcats as I was writing them. So reality TV, basically as the years went on, the audience was catching on as to like what was real, what was not real. And the networks did begin to worry about it, but then they decided to just lean into the skepticism. And they then started to scout for, like, in the competitions, in the challenges and the talents and in the makeovers, they would purposely scout people that would stir controversy. So they would, what's it called? They would cast a person that would take on the villain role. And the villain then would turn like because of this they would make the villain a character, and now that kind of birthed now with every reality TV show I feel like we watch, there is always a villain or somebody
hmm
that the public hates the most. And they actually credit Omarosa from the first season of The Apprentice for kind of spearheading this movement because she caused a lot of controversy on that season. They gave her like the angry black woman, like they produced it as an angry black woman stereotype. And I mean, her name got known. It didn't damage her as badly because also I feel like the type of show she was on, it was against people who were dicks. You know what I mean? But yeah, from seeing the success of that and how people were talking about her and the controversy of her season, networks and producers then scouted people based on stereotypes. So like the dumb blonde, the dumb jock, the angry black woman, the nerd, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that is still true to this day because when I was thinking about reality TV shows I watch, especially competition, like challenge based or talent based, I find myself maybe subcategorizing them or stereotyping them. That's a
The
better word for it.
Players.
Yeah,
hmm
I
There
definitely do.
is a reality show that's on Peacock. I've not watched it. I think it came out in 2023 called House of Villains, where they take
Ah,
all those villains from reality TV shows and
yes,
they compete to see who's the worst or best villain, I guess. I don't know. But
yes.
actually kind of curious about watching it. Have you watched it?
Me too. No, but I've heard great things from people I
I have
respect the
too.
opinions of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we should check out. Yeah, I'll watch it and see. But yeah, now that's it. That's all the information I have. Anything else you might want to add?
There's I want to mention a couple that, like, when I was looking up reality shows that came to my mind, and I just want to mention them because either I just think they're so ridiculous or I love them. And then there's maybe
Would you
one
say
or two
you're a
that I
big
want to talk
reality
about.
TV because this is I feel like you are and I did not see it coming.
Well, I don't think that I am, but then when I started listing ones that I have at least watched, maybe not an avid watcher, but like I've watched more than once, I know what it is, and
It's a
I
lot.
have 70 shows. Also, I did make an Excel spreadsheet for this.
Oh my gosh. 71?
Yeah.
Okay, but little I'm like how much editing do you want to do? Cuz I want to ask like how extensive like are we talking like MTV Next reality TV? Like did you name
Okay.
those or did you
No,
I want to know what you
because
named.
I can share it with you.
Okay.
Because I also wanted, because I knew we were going to kind of approach it timeline wise, but I also knew you were going to break it down. So I have a column for year, the type I got from Wikipedia. So they were a little different, and then the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
Um, I, I have, I don't know, I'll share it with you what I
Okay.
have on here. But these are some that I wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about,
Okay.
really.
Please go ahead.
Um, to see if you remember, or did you ever watch Flavor of Love?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought it up.
Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, A Shot at Love, all of those, they were on
Yes.
VH1,
Yeah.
and these were two, because this was 2003, like 2004, before they really
Yes.
set rules for a reality TV show. They just threw
Yes.
them in a house with some food, and they're like, see you in a week.
And also, you guys really don't know what you are meant to be doing in here. So you're half bored, half in competition with each other. It was a mess. It was, and I was definitely way too young for a Flavor of Love.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was so good. I love
it
it. I
was.
love all of it. Another one is The Ultimatum. Have you watched that?
I have. I think I watched the first season. It wasn't a bit of me.
I think it's very problematic, and it's probably because of
Yeah.
my fear of polygamy, but like it's
Oh my gosh. If no one's gonna say it, I've gotta say it. What a fucking weird fear to have, Chelsea.
I just
Ugh.
I would not go on that show. Like, you are going on a show that you understand that your partner probably will sleep with somebody else, and you are
100%.
signing okay, like, what?
Yeah, it was too unrealistic for me. Like
Hmm.
Eve, I just couldn't buy into it. I was like, "Ugh, I don't like this. Yeah,
Well,
maybe I'm too much
and
of a romantic.
and I think that these are couples that are obviously having some kind of issue,
Yeah,
and I think they're told that they are going to have like support within that, for their relationship, like therapists and stuff, but I don't think they really get it.
I don't
And
think so at
so
all.
they're just stirring the pot and making it worse. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't think so at all.
I don't.
It's terrible. I don't
Yeah.
like it. When you say support, though, it reminds me of the reality TV show, Married at First Sight, and that's
Oh,
that one. Have you watched that?
yeah. I've watched one season, I think.
Yeah, I got introduced to it by an ex, and he was like ride or die for like that was his reality. Like Love Island is mine. That was his. um, and I haven't watched it since, but it was interesting. Like because they legit did have therapists though to
Mm-hmm.
help them make it to like down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
So and that made sense. But that concept is also crazy as shit. If you have a fear of polygamy, I have a fear of marrying somebody that I've never seen the looks of before.
That does seem like a fear of yours because every time we
Yeah.
talk about it, you get real clammy.
Oh, like Married at First Sight. I could never. Love Is Blind is already like that's you know what I mean. That's whatever. But Married at
Hmm.
First Sight is legit. You are down the aisle meeting this man, seeing this man for the God no, God no, God no. Sorry. Okay. uh-uh.
Uh, we're learning about ourselves and each other so much.
Yeah, we are. Okay, sorry. Name another that you had that you want to talk
The
about.
other we I don't think we really talked about this. We had Laguna Beach.
Lagoon and the Hills. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that, at least for me, the Laguna Beach came out when I was in high school and very much was it was impacting like the way that people were dressing at my school. And
yeah,
yeah,
I
it
agree.
was very impactful.
Yeah, as teenagers, yeah, I agree. But and were they teens? Were they in high school? Oh,
Ye-
yeah,
I think so, at
yeah, which
least
is
in the
crazy.
beginning. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think maybe they were
um,
seniors or
yeah,
juniors.
definitely. I think so. Or yeah, one of the two. But yeah, that Spice, Spencer, Heidi, Brody, all them. Also, I watched and it was impactful. I agree.
Hmm. Yeah. The other, I think, just two or three that well, there's another one that was on PBS. It came out in 2002. They've had other iterations of this. It's called Frontier House, and they put like a modern family and they made them live like they were on the frontier.
God, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
No, I've never
it
heard of it.
looked so it was a very good show. They have another one where people like go live in Victorian England and stuff like that.
Okay, never heard
Yeah.
of it. Weird concept. Could be into it. I think it would depend on how they're casting these families.
Oh, they were just like normal weird families.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And what is the purpose? To just see how they adapt?
Yeah, to see how
Okay,
they adapt to like living, without modern
technology.
conveniences.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I could be into it. Maybe.
It was again, so it's on PBS, so you
Yeah.
have to understand the excitement factor that's going on.
I know.
It's
I
low.
do. I do want to mention. You probably watch PBS more than anybody I know, and it's an interesting revelation. It's so
Do you
interesting.
If you got a digital antenna, you got
That's true.
PBS.
You went through all that effort to install the digital antenna that you're like, I might as well watch the channels I can get from this thing that nobody
Another
else can.
show, yeah, another show from PBS, which was on Wikipedia listed as a reality show. I don't really agree. Is Antiques Roadshow on PBS, where
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Is that a reality TV show? What would we even like? If it's not reality TV, what would it be? Because it's not talk
I don't
show. It's not.
know. It was. I can pull it back up. I do love
Okay.
that show though. Just
Yeah,
an
that one I'll
FYI,
give
it
to you.
is.
That's a classic. That's a PBS got one with that one. You know what I mean? That's probably paying its bills.
I like that was the one that was okay for you.
100%. Everyone knows the Antique Roadshow.
Oh, and we also didn't really mention, and I forgot about this, but the Real Housewives,
I know. I,
like,
I literally,
well,
as you were speaking, I was like, I'm gonna mention the Housewives.
which do you
But
watch those at all, or did watch them?
I got into my first Housewife franchise, Potomac. I don't know how to say that word.
Hmm.
The
Potomac.
DC one. Yes. Oh wow, I was so off. That's unfortunate. Um, I swear I watched it. It was so good, and I all my not all, but most of the girls around me that I love do watch it and watch Real Housewives. So I asked them which one should I start with, and they said that one in Salt Lake City. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they also said New York, but I do want to do Salt Lake City next. I did enjoy Potomac. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was great. Have you watched one before? One franchise or any?
When they first started coming out, I watched a
Yeah,
little bit of them, but after a while, there was like too many. It was too much going on, so I gave up. But I am curious
yeah,
about Potomac. I've heard that it's good, and the same with the Salt Lake.
yeah. Potomac starts off strong, and then you know all of them, so you're invested kind of situation. I
Mm-hmm.
did not watch this past season, or yeah, it kind of they need a revamp for sure. And then I did catch the Atlanta one here and there as I was like in my teen years and college years and stuff like that. But I haven't sat down and watched it fully to understand every character's lore surrounding the show, you know. But I feel like that's one of the most iconic ones with Nene and Portia and all them. I think they get
Mm-hmm.
talked about a lot, and their memes and all that pertaining to that
Mm-hmm.
one. So that's one I
Yeah.
do want to do too. I was gonna bring something up about the Real Housewives. Oh, and then I mean, we do then have like the Love and Hip Hops, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing not to mention, not because I'm a race trader, but because I just think, well, I don't know. They are. I think they started off iconic. Like they gave us Cardi B and like all these other things, and it. I
Yeah.
watched it a lot actually, more than I realized when I was thinking back. It was juicy. It was drama. It was great, but it was so messy. And I think maybe with my frontal lobe being more developed, the messiness like hurts now to watch, and I just can't support it. And that is also why I didn't want to mention it. But watched it. We can
Mm-hmm.
mention it. I think it did pioneer. Okay, yes, we should have mentioned Love and Hip Hop. It did pioneer a different aspect of reality TV shows
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that we got, and it was great for what it was. But I think if it were to go off air, would we miss anything now? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
It
what I mean?
definitely served a
Yeah.
purpose, though. It's, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Um, yeah. And then now I don't, and then we have others, and I feel like people are gonna be like, why don't you mention whatever? But like, and I will say it, I do not support watching the Bad Girls Club in every iteration that is now on. I want to say Tubi. No, it's another one. Is it Tubi?
Or Pluto or something. I don't
Or
know.
yeah, something that it should not be on, or whatever. Anyways, I think that kind of reality TV is just not. It's not necessary. It's damaging. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I will pass out a petition to get it all shut down.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I think there's only one other one that I wanted to mention, and it's actually a pretty new one. It's called the Jared Carmichael reality show. Have you seen this on HBO?
Mm-mm. I have
Or
not.
do you know who he
Gerald.
is?
I
Hmm.
love. I loved him. I don't know if I do anymore. Did you watch it?
Well, I've like watched 3 episodes, I think.
Okay.
It came out in 2024. It is a reality show. I mean, he is filming these his life. I mean, obviously it's edited. I don't think there's a lot of production going into it. I think it's all, if it is, there are scenes where he's having conversations with people that are planned, but he talks about how they're planned because he's like, I'm going to talk to this person. I want us to have this conversation, you know?
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. Kind of like
I'm
breaking
surprised.
the fourth wall, sort of bit.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm surprised more people haven't talked about it only because of the content of it is I had heard nothing about it, and I was like, I'm
Really?
surprised more people aren't talking about it. Yeah.
Oh, it was
It's
it was
about,
talked about on my timeline.
oh, I maybe it was on mine and I just missed it from last year, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Go
What I
ahead.
mean,
What is it about?
what did you hear it was about, or what did you hear on your timeline?
I heard it was weird, odd, not really necessary. Kind of like Kind of damaging to what he had going on, to his brand, really. Um, yeah, kind of just weird. People did not, on my timeline, people did not like it. And we're kind of like, we could have done without that. And how the hell did this get, like, how did this get approved kind of thing?
Yeah, again, I'm only a couple episodes in, but I very much, it is weird. I am surprised. I'm surprised it got made. I think that, yeah, I agree with all of it, but I'm just surprised that, what's the word?
Because it's
I don't know.
so,
That
what's it called? Like, revolutionary, and it's not like,
no, not even
okay.
that. I don't know. I'm gonna finish watching it.
Okay.
The beginning of it at least is about him sitting down with Tyler, the creator, telling him how much he loves him and like trying
Yeah.
to fix that relationship. And I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
I don't. It's very strange, and so I don't understand how more people aren't talking about how strange it is.
They that when it was airing, 100% they were. Yeah, they were talking about
Okay.
how strange it
Okay.
is. Yeah, especially that Tyler creator scene bit. I feel like I didn't have to watch it because people were talking about it in detail on my timeline, that I was like, okay, I've seen enough that I feel like if I watched it, it would be like, ugh, like too much of a secondhand embarrassment. Why am I doing this to myself?
It is. He's already a very awkward person, and actually,
Yeah.
Tyler Creator's a very awkward person,
Yes,
and so watching
exactly.
him alone feels awkward, and then putting them together,
Yes.
I'm like, I feel uncomfortable.
Yes, I agree with you. I fully agree with you. So yeah, that's nothing I wanna see. But how many episodes do you know? I feel like it was like a short 6 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 8 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if it got renewed. I'd be surprised. I'd be
I
surprised.
don't. I
He
don't think
doesn't
so.
come out to his parents on the show, does he? Like, does he? In the first episode?
N- no, his mom already knows, and they
Okay.
already know. He does talk about like working through that relationship with his parents. That is
Okay.
very much part of the show, but they know.
Okay, cool. He does have a stand-up special on HBO talking
Hmm.
about coming out, which I loved. So when I
It was
saw,
so good, so
so
good.
good, it was so good. He is a brilliant comedy writer. He has a brilliant comedic like mind. Love him. I just don't know why he did this show, and I wish someone could have told him not to. But it's
I'm
okay.
glad that nobody did because I think it's weird, and I like that it's out there.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. So you are a fan. It came out
he's what
last year. Yeah.
a fan is not the right word. I appreciate it for what it is, and it's out there, and it's weird, and I like that I'm able to watch it, and yeah.
Okay. I get it. Weirdly, I don't know about you guys, listeners, but I got it. So I'm with you.
Okay. As long as you understand.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I've got like 60 more shows we could talk about, but I think those are the highlights. I think we've
Covered them all.
what more
And
is
of
there to
course,
say, really?
yeah, I think we got them all. And there is my beloved Love Island, but I feel like I've talked about that enough. Um, and I was, if we're talking about like subcategories, I was like, is that a challenge or a, no, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. But oh, I was with Love Island, I was like, is it scripted or non-scripted? And I think it's scripted. Maybe it's just in the gray.
I would lean towards scripted only because I know they have their little phones and I know the producers are like, "Hey, you need to go chit chat with so and so over at the
Yes.
cabana."
Yeah, 100%. And then also it's such a controlled
So
environment.
that's the only thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I feel like I
One
learned a
one last
lot.
question
Oh,
before we
sorry.
wrap
Yes.
up. Oh,
No, go ahead.
what is your favorite?
Favorite
What is
reality
your
TV
favorite
show?
type of reality TV?
Oh, definitely the ones that involve fighting for love or something like that, a relationship kind of situation. Yeah, I love it. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Love is Blind, all of them. I don't even know. Next, like if we're taking it back to back then, like, oh yeah, I loved them all. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I probably would have to say the same ultimately. I like
Really?
Survivor and stuff like that, but it's not what hooks me in from the get-go.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's something about a love centered reality TV show that's so I don't it's so vulnerable to me and maybe like more raw or something because and then and this it's such a fine line of how it can go wrong or right. Does that make sense? Because it's like, wow, you are here because you are looking for love or dating or whatever. And that's crazy.
100%, agree, and I think it's really actually very high stakes.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed. Could you, if you were single, could you be on one of those shows? Could you do a Love is
No.
Blind? Could you do it? Okay, better question. What reality TV show category could you do? I feel like Town is just a cheap answer, like a cheap way out.
What what's the cheap way out?
Talent. Like, I can sing, I can dance, I can tell a
Oh,
joke, I can. You don't think
I have
so?
no talent, so it would not be one of those.
You could come up with something. Also, half those. Let me not be mean. But I was going to say I am going to be mean. I was going to say half the people that go on there think they have talent, but don't really have talent. You know, that's like half the point.
Yeah. I mean, I probably
Um,
would do something like The Mole or Traders or something like that.
yeah, I like that. Okay, so the goal is for us to get famous enough where traders start inviting podcasters on there, and then we're gonna get Chelsea on there. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. It'd be amazing if you were on there with
I would
Rob.
cry so fast.
It would
Mm,
be so
hmm.
interesting to see who your alliances would be with, too.
I would either win or I'd be the first person to go home.
I agree. You do like. I feel like no shade at all, but I feel like you come off so non-threatening that it really they could like keep you on. They'll kill you off just. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, you come off non-threatening.
I think that's why I could see myself winning, as people would just underestimate me and just think that I'm not listening to what they're saying, and
Yeah,
then I know everything because I'm just around.
yeah, like a file on the wall. Just like yeah, I got that.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
Um, anything else that you might want to add?
No, I think that's it for this one.
Okay. I was going to sign off, but I do want to say, and I think I've mentioned it on here before, but there is a show called Unreal, and it used to be on Hulu. It is now on Netflix, and it is based on. It's a TV show script. It's like a drama TV show, and it's based off. The premise is it's like the Bachelor universe, but the producers behind that producing The Bachelor, and it is crazy dramatic, and I was obsessed with it when it first came out. I think it only has 2 or 3 seasons. It got canceled, um, but it is worth checking out if you are into both like TV show dramas and reality TV. It's the perfect mixture of all of that, and it's again just worth checking out. I feel like it's like a sort of becoming like a cult classic. Like when you knew about it, you would talk about it, and now more and more people are talking about it, and people are watching it, being like, "How have I never heard of this before?" So yeah, check that out if you haven't. It's on Netflix. I think Tubi too. But that's it. That's all we've got. I hope you all learned something. I hope you learned something, Chelsea. I definitely did,
I
especially
did.
in these past 3 weeks. It's been fun. I don't know what we're going to talk about next, but join us next week to find out. Bye.
And bye.
Are you watching this? Are you watching? Yeah.